Well, hey, thank you so much for watching this tune-up. Listen, I want to share an article I read just recently in Success Magazine on this guy right here. This guy, James Lawrence, 39, out of Utah. And what he did is he did 50 Ironman races in 50 consecutive days in 50 states. That's what this guy did. Is that crazy or what? And when I told this to Julie, she didn't believe me when I told her. And I'm like, yes, the guy did it. First, he had to break the record. I think it was 20, and then it was 30. And then he just recently did the 50. But just unbelievable, right? I mean, if you can think about it, I don't even know how it's possible. I mean, this guy, just to break it down, 50 by the numbers, this is what he did. He did 2,295 strokes for a 2.4-mile swim times 50 days. That's 114,000 strokes. He did 141,232 pedals for a 112-mile bike ride times 50 days. That's 7,061,600 pedals. And then he did 262,000 steps for a 26.2-mile run times 50 days. That's over 13 million steps. That's what this guy did for 50 days consecutively. It's just nuts, right? So I don't know if you have that little watch or whatever, you know, you're rocking. I don't even know. I don't have one of those. What are you excited if you get like 1,000 steps in the day or something? It's just nuts, right? So anyways, I want to talk about something because there are some great lessons in this, powerful lessons in this. One thing he said the size of the goal doesn't matter. What matters is having the desire to improve yourself, push yourself to new limits, and adopt the right mindset to make it happen. So he talked about mindset. We did mindset videos in the last couple, weeks with you guys. I talked about that. We got to have an incredible mindset. The more incredible things we want to do in our life, we have to have an incredible mindset. We have to improve that. One of the things that I thought was just amazing, is the interviewer had asked him what he thought about during his running and biking and swimming. He said, I asked Lawrence what he thought about why he was on the 50. He said sometimes he would have a long conversation with himself, but most of the time it was about focusing on what he would do in the next minute. Lawrence said he tried not to think about how many miles or days he had left. He just wanted to be perfect at whatever he was doing in that moment, running, biking, or swimming, for the next minute. Guys, that right there is crazy. There's such a tremendous lesson on that. See, he didn't look at his overall goal and kind of psych himself out. If he would have been, let's say, day 10 and number 10, Ironman, and said, oh my gosh, I have 40 more of these and I'm really hurting, and that was his focus, looking 40 more of these, and I'm so hurting right now, that's not a good mindset. He would have psyched himself out. He says right here what he focused on was the next minute, taking the next step, the next stroke, the next revolution in his bike pedal, whatever it was. He just focused on minute to minute to minute to make it happen, to be in that process. And there's such a tremendous lesson in that. So I want to encourage you, whatever your goal is, whatever your thoughts, whatever you're trying to achieve, don't get yourself psyched out on the overall, picture and how hard it will be and this and that. You just focus on what you can do in the next minute, what you can do that day, okay? And just be consistent and keep going. And eventually what will happen is, if you're consistent enough and you stick with it and you don't quit, which he talked about not quitting in here, he knew he would never quit, that wasn't an option, he was able to get this tremendous feat done. And you know what? Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whether it's big like this, which I don't even know how anybody could have something bigger than that, but different things, whatever it is, marriage, parenting, your health. I mean, there's some big things in here. I'm not downplaying anything that may be going on in your life, but what I'm saying is, if we just focus on that next step, that next minute, that we too can really accomplish some amazing things in our life. So hopefully this video helped, and I appreciate your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.